live just a little bit early because I need to do a sound check. We've just installed our Blue Yeti mic, and before we get really deep into our topic today, I just need to see a whole bunch of ones that y'all can hear me good. Yeah, I gotta get used to things, right? So welcome to 1111 True Crime. If the music is too loud, give me a 2. If you can hear me, give me a 1. Hopefully you guys can hear me. So we're going to be talking today about Kaylee's phone. Thank you, Debbie. Kaylee's phone was never returned to Steve and Christy, the parents. All the other victims' phones have been returned. The music's too loud. I'll turn it down a little bit. Whoop. Wrong button. There we go. Okay. So, when it comes to Kaylee's phone, it's very confusing to me that they would have kept her phone. I'm just adjusting this real quick. Okay. They would have kept her phone, but not the others, when they can get anything they want off the phone and just give the phone back. When we worked in the Wells case, the Summer Wells case, their phones were allegedly factory reset and handed back. And I've heard that in other cases. I was over on Tommy Jude's channel once upon a crime time last night on panel with Golf, Inspector Golf. And we really started talking about Kaylee's phone. And I'm not the only one that is like, is it missing? Is it gone? Did it never get found? And that really made me start thinking about things. I've made a little set of cards here with a whole bunch of things that really have a lot of questions for me, and I just want to go over them with you. So now that we know our sound is good, everybody's happy. Hopefully this keeps me from voice swelling. And then when I want to get quiet, I can still get up close and whisper, right? So, because I'm a loudmouth. No doubt, no doubt. Let's get over to chat. Hello, my beautifuls. Let's see. Taurus says, I wonder if DNA is on that phone. What else could be on that phone? Because Kaylee took a lot of pictures. Could there be texts on there that somebody didn't want? I would think that would all be picked up in the cloud. It would almost have to be photographs or something like that. And did Kaylee take a photograph when she was at the grub track? It looked like it. And it was weird at the angle because she's got it up above her. And I didn't understand that because Maddie's directly in front of her, but Kaylee's doing this with her phone, almost capturing somebody behind her. I'm not sure. Jenny says, woo, good. I am known as just Jenny with a G. That's all I've been. You're Jennyville to me, lovely. Hey, Fallon. I think I heard at the very first that the attacker took Kaylee's phone. Well, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. Good day to you, Summer Snow. Jennifer Swain, hello, my beautiful. Hi, Sally. Good to see you all. Ruby King is asking, or does her phone reveal the identity of the person who did the crime? Well, let's hop over. We're going to check this out. For those of you that are like me that want a receipt, this is a recording from January of this year, 2024. I believe it's with Brian Enton on News Nation. It might not be. I don't know who it was by. Sorry about that. Okay, you guys, here we go.
I know you mentioned that that you guys wanted to get like the phone back. Is there anything else that like you guys were like, oh my gosh, I would love to have this?
We asked for a list of the things that they had to take. Because we know of some things like a laptop, an Apple laptop, and a couple of things. We couldn't even get them to give a list. So
of things that they had, and I mean, maybe it sounds stupid, but I don't really know why Kaylee's phone is evidence. Like, what is on? So it makes me think, what is on it?
yeah, that makes you go cuckoo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, okay, what is on it?
Her speaker, it's kind of unusual item not to give back. The laptops,
A speaker? A speaker? Multiple laptops? But yet Kaylee's phone is the only one that didn't get returned to the family.
multiple laptops, not just one. All electronics, it seems like they've kept of hers. So, and her bake records, the amount of records on Kaylee was probably, I think fairly to say, was more than the other victims. So, curious where that was.
More than the other victims. And it really makes me wonder if it is really personal to Kaylee. There's a couple things I wanted to mention about Kaylee. So her phone is missing, her laptops. Something else about Kaylee's phone was that in a different interview, Steve G says Kaylee's phone didn't just stop dialing at 2:52 a.m. It went off network, like offline, shut off or disconnected. Why? And those calls were to JD, her ex. I find that very, very strange that her phone just disconnects from the network. It's very strange to me. What are you guys' thoughts? Hey, Wolf Angel, good to see ya. Good to see you. Hey, Jackie Bushbull. Hello, hello. Rhonda says, yep, she was taking photos, yes, at the grub truck. That's what it looked like to me, too. Cheryl says, please watch this man's podcast, Michael Adrio Photography, where he asked if Carly, I don't know a Carly, you mean Kaylee, was a CI, and why was 1122 King Road blocked out by Google? Thank you, lovely. Max Smith says, where does anyone or everyone stand on the whodunit issue? Good question. Hey, Liz Tupling. Hey, Beverly Ward. Good to see you all. So what are your thoughts on why would Kaylee's phone not be given back? The other victims' phones were given to the families, but not Kaylee's. Is it missing? Is it gone? Because if Kaylee's phone, just speculation, I can hear my breathing on this mic, it's so weird. But if her phone is actually gone and missing, what does that mean? Was it personal to Kaylee? And so one of the things I wrote down was about, and you and I have talked about it a long time, Steve has said he didn't need to go upstairs, he chose to. Meaning, because he explained it, that he would hate to think that his child, Kaylee, was the target. But her wounds were huge, big, open gouges. How does that fit a K-bar? And was it personal to Kaylee? If you listen to Annie Elise, she's saying it was overkill on Kaylee's face. The points of damage are said not to match between Maddie and Kaylee. All that really bothers me. Now I do want, I'm going to hit that 1,000 times before I learn. All right, look, whoops, sorry. I've always got a point. Look up here. So you see these little numbers? It says 2,734 signatures. That, my lovelies, is for Sandra Birchmore, just 23 years old, pregnant, almost 3 months pregnant, and we are desperately trying to get people to sign her death petition, which would allow us to get a very strong investigation into her case. Now, when that number hits 5,000, we're giving away free from your 1111 family a $125 gift card to some random subscriber. So I'm really excited about that. I want to be able to get back to you guys. But please help us get that number up there. Oh, that number up there. I'll figure it out one of these days. Well, hello, Melissa French. Haven't seen you in a while. Have you heard the latest accusations against BK? Are you talking about the laboratory card? Are you talking about that? Summer Snow says, in my opinion, she captured some of the attack on her phone. Well, then that would mean that the attack happened at 2:52, right? Because it was shut off after that and not on the internet. And how would she capture the attack unless she isn't the one calling Jack T? That makes me wonder who really called Jack D on Maddie and Kaylee's phones. Ruby King says, I feel that everything points to K. Are you meaning Kaylee? Fallon says maybe K had pics. Okay, so you guys are going to say K because we got Kohlberger too. But we always say BK, right? Because Kaylee had pics on phone implicating someone, maybe? I added maybe. And a reason why she was taken out, maybe others taken out, because they were in May of getting K or witnesses. Not sure what that means, love. Kind of got lost. Tori says, it does seem to be a message to those who love Kaylee. So I'm going to switch back over. We'll come back to chat in just a minute. Ooh. Number 4. The dog is alive and protected, locked in a room, Kaylee's room, undisturbed. No DNA, no murder scene. 10 calls to the ex. Well, texts, including one threatening, I'll take the dog and leave tonight if you don't come over. Is that somebody trying to establish an alibi that they absolutely aren't there? Or why would someone be calling you if you're already there? I thought of the strong gouges, and if it's true that Kaylee took as much damage as she did, me and Tommy Jude over on Once Upon a Crime Time, when I was on chat last night in golf, we were all talking about how exhausting, if you really think about it, it would be to do 50 strikes with a weapon, because you're literally having to pull it out and push it in. It's not just your arm moving. So For me, I compare it to lifting like a gallon of milk or something because it's a lot of movement. And I thought about it. You wouldn't get tired as quick as you would begin to get that pain in your wrists if you weren't somebody that moves their wrist on a regular basis to strengthen it. Now, a juggler, which we do know, Kaylee's excellent juggler, right? They have a strong wrist, right? What else? Oh, a tennis player. Amazing wrist. Right? Oh, JD's a big tennis player. Let's see what else. Oh, I know. Somebody that can throw a knife or a hatchet, that has control, can even juggle weapons, would have a strong wrist because you got to be able to throw it. And then some of JD's other talents are being able to parkour and balance on things that other people can't. Can climb buildings, basically. And I thought about all that, and I'm like, that's so strange. That if Kaylee has that much damage to her face, in my humble opinion, we're looking for somebody that's very strong wrist. There was one other thing about his wrist I was talking about. I can't remember. Tennis, juggling, parkour, and axe throwing. Just saying. What are you guys' thoughts? Mr. F says, I do believe Kaylee was a target from what I know. You could be right. Dreamweaver 2, hello. Nefarious Axe and Kaylee could have found out and taken a picture, in my opinion. Could it have had something of pictures that incriminated someone even in the past week or so that she took? I'm not sure. Hey, Lori Markle, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining us. Ruby King says she may have texted someone about what was happening with a name. Any text would have come up in the cloud. So whatever's on Kaylee's phone might have been, I'm just throwing it out there, non-evidential, but more personal, as a momentum, as a token. Because Kaylee documented her whole life through photographs. Her family has told us this. And if you were an ex of 10 days, would that phone, with all your memories, have value to you? I'm just asking, just thinking out loud. Well, if Angel says, I think Jack called himself. Jennifer Swain and I are on the very same pages most of the time. She says, I can't get past Murphy not barking. Am I loud enough, you guys? Because I can turn it up, but I don't know where the happy medium is. Star Winter said, look how Steve nudges his wife when she mentions the phone. Very telling, in my opinion. All right, my lovelies, I'm going to show you a little bit more of that video. I've got quite a few today to show you. And we'll come right back over to chat in just a minute.
Where that's going to come.
If we got like her wallet. Like,
we got things from her room. Her room really was a part of it.
I'm talking about like her wallet with her ID in it and her debit card. And
yeah, we have those items.
We have her ID.
And she had so many IDs. It's hard to. She had a lot of college IDs, a lot of high school IDs. So I don't know if I actually.
We all had a lot of IDs.
I actually haven't gone through. My thing is because I'm very good about like just pretending like things didn't happen and like put it out of my head and pretend. And that's what I do with Kaylee. Kaylee's stuff. Because we brought everything home. Well, we got a bunch of stuff home and I went through like 2 things and I literally 2 boxes and I literally couldn't go to work for like 3 days. I mean, I literally was like smelling everything and just like sitting on the floor. And my mom and his mom were like, we're going to go just get it up in Kaylee's room, okay? So, I mean, then I went to my room and I'm like, everybody just leave me alone and get away from me. And they packed it up there and put it all away. And then I have not gone through any of it at all besides those 2 boxes. And I don't want to go through any of it. I don't know why. It just is so hard to go through that stuff. And when we went down to the house, or that little
When we picked up her
storage house
stuff.
that they...
Now, do you remember when Chief Fry talked about how they wanted to give back the victims' things, and we heard that he drove that truck to the victims' homes and hand delivered himself the victims' items? That's not true. And I don't believe the victims' items were given back to make the families feel better. Now I'm going to let this play out, and you'll hear that the victims' things were taken to a warehouse and divided up amongst, this is bedroom 2. This is bedroom 3. Bedroom 1. However you want to do it. And there wasn't a name. Kaylee was known as bedroom 2. That's how much they cared about how the family felt. I'll let you listen to it.
they had for us to go through that was so hard to see their rooms like set up in this house and get the rest of their things. It was Kaylee's room. Kaylee was bedroom number 2, and I was like, my daughter doesn't even have a name. She's bedroom number 2, so everything marked bedroom number 2 was Kaylee. And that was hard. That was really hard. That was last summer. But I've only been up to Kaylee's room. I mean, it's right up there, right at the top of the stairs. I've only been up there twice. And neither time was for any amount of time. It was like in and out. Oops, in and out. Once was when Olivia was here, and
she's the fortress. She doesn't want the other girls to steal her clothes.
I don't want anybody going through her stuff at all. I'm just like, get out of there. Why are you wearing that? That's Kaylee's. That's all we have. That is it, you know. And it's just real. It's just so real sometimes, and it's just the worst that somebody could do this to somebody's family. So many families.
All right. Now, I want to come back over to chat. Carl Thomas, I do have that. Hold on a minute. Let me grab it for you. It'll take just a second to find it. But you're asking the big question, those 10 calls to Jack D. And you're asking what verbal or text message did K and M leave Jack? Well, I actually, let me type in maybe message. No. Oh my gosh, it's so loud to type on this mic. I mean, really loud. Okay. Give me just a second. Because I know we had it. Investigated sex trafficking. Kaylee. Okay, I found it. Here you go. It's got to download for just a minute.
We're supposed to believe he just takes out 4 on his way to... It just seems like a
Overwhelmed custody of the dog. Like, there's just
Kaylee was leaving.
He was looking for every excuse for him to pick the phone up.
Yes.
To read those texts. Mm-hmm. Like, I will
wanted
leave
him to
tonight
know.
with the dog if you don't pick up. That's...
She was looking for any excuse for Jack to pick up. She texted him the message, I will leave with the dog tonight if you don't pick up. I'll let you listen to it again. I got it turned down a little bit so it's not as overwhelming.
For him to pick the phone up.
Yes.
To read those texts. Mm-hmm. Like, I will
wanted
leave
him to
tonight
know.
with the dog if you don't pick up. That type of thing.
Oh, so yeah. And they, even when they broke up, they still communicated.
Yes,
it
every
sounds
day,
like
all the
it's
time.
like you know.
The whole time she
In
was
that
around.
bar scene,
It was just a.
they were around him.
Yeah.
Not Miss Jackson over here in the corner. No, she was around her ex, you know, and to me, that's comfort level.
They're shaking their head no. They're like, he's saying she wasn't around Jack D over there in the corner. I mean, Jackass over Showalter over in the corner. No. She was around her ex. That's a comfort level. We all know statistics tell us that often it's a significant other. Like, it's really well up there. So, yeah. Let me get back over to chat with you guys. So, that, he never responded. And his alibi was his roommate, Adam. So, Adam claims that the reason he knows Jack D was in his room all night is because he saw him go in there and shut the door and went to bed. So there's Jack D's alibi. Yeah, for real. And Jack D was cleared. He has an alibi which checked out. That doesn't mean forever, though. His alibi checked out because he's sleeping, and that's his alibi. Everybody says, well, Brian Kohlberger doesn't have an alibi. He was just driving around at night. Well, neither does Jack D. He allegedly was sleeping. He's Adam's alibi, and Adam is Jack D's alibi. And it's weird to me when we do hear, what did you tell Adam, who happens to be Jack D's roommate and the bartender? And that comes from the girls. And who was at the bar? Jack D, Adam, and Showalter. I also think it's weird when you think about initially what they thought. So we first heard that the mayor said it was a crime of passion, right? Then they came back and they said, no. It wasn't a crime of passion. It was targeted. So they put out a stay-in-place order for only 30 minutes after quadruple homicide went on the news and told us, all the Moscow residents, that they didn't have to worry about anything. Then they went back a few days later and they were like, well, you always need to stay vigilant, right? So what made them think it was a crime of passion or targeted in the beginning? And what changed their mind? Because if Jack D, the ex, with the strong wrist, didn't cut himself, what would you possibly use against him? His DNA? Everywhere. Because he's the ex. His hair? Everywhere. His shoe prints? Everywhere. He could leave his shoe prints all over that yard. Because remember, they're still friends. Kaylee's taken the dog. She's got a new Range Rover. She's got a new job. And she's graduating college. She's moving to Texas. Was Jack D okay with all that? Really? I find it strange. We have what appears to be Kaylee wearing a giant, oversized black jacket. We see it at the bar. We see her at the sidewalk. What did you tell Adam? And she's swinging those little sleeves. Oh, I knew I did that a bunch. Then she goes to the grub truck. She's still in the jacket. And then later, what appears to be that jacket ends up across the street on a fire hydrant from Sigma Chi. And the investigators look at it, and it appears that they take something out of the pocket. And that's all I know on that. But I find that jacket weird, not only because it was on Kaylee all night, but also because I've seen Jack D in photographs. that is wearing a very, very similar type jacket. And some people are like, yeah, but the one Kaylee had a hood, or the one Jack had a hood, the other one didn't. Hoods button on and off and zip on and off, so that doesn't mean much for me. But what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Right, Taurus, Adam and Jack D are each other's alibis. Hello, Misty Blue. Thank you for stopping by. Statement about the dog. I believe is more damage control to protect JD, in my opinion. Somebody loved that dog and protected it. In a house where humans are slaughtered, the animal is protected. Dreamweaver 2 says, allegedly cleared, in my opinion. That so-called law enforcement, in my opinion, would clear the actual criminals. They're all in law enforcement or criminals as well. You're not alone on some of those thoughts. Ring camera from Blue House next to 1122 was... Sorry. I apologize. I've got a sore throat. And when I swallow, it hurts, so forgive me. Right, Ruby says no cuts on hands if leather gloves were used. Or if another weapon that you wouldn't slide down on the blade were used too. Dreamweaver says, what is your videotape of JD and Adam? What time did they leave the corner bar? It's a question, should I say, in my opinion. I have no videotape of Adam and JD leaving the bar. I wish I did. I wish I knew what time that was. And I've begun to think about this. Who ever said that Xana and Ethan, besides us being told that they got home at 1:45, but when you listen to Xana's parents, she's talking about hearing that Xana had made a call to her dad, ate pizza, and was home by midnight watching movies. Did they leave a fight early? And did some intruders come into the house planning to take out Kaylee? And, sorry, number 5 or 6, did, as they were coming in, you know where the screen is ripped off the back of the house? Because remember, front of the house is lit. The little back patio has all these like Christmas lights, the white Christmas lights, twinkle lights. That's all lit. But just outside the twinkle lights is a window, and it looks like, if I remember right, there's a cement block or something, and there's a twisted up piece of screen there. That could have been left there weeks and weeks ago, but that could still be very easy entrance. You don't even got to take the screen off. You just pop the window open. You're in like Flynn. Could they have, the intruder that was planning to come into the home, could they have gotten caught by either Xana or Ethan and then be taken out? Remember, there's a hell of a battle down there. So if there's a hell of a battle down there, does that have to be the living room? Or could that mean in Xana's bedroom? What are you guys' thoughts? Mars Cruz said it wasn't Kaylee that had the jacket on. It was Maddie. Oh, thank you. I mix girls up all the time, so keep me straight. Keep me straight. Right, Maddie. But I wonder, did she borrow it from Jack D? Was she cold? We don't know. We've never seen her in that coat in any other pictures, so I find that strange. But we do see Jack D in that very similar coat. Felon says, if Q, meaning Quinn, did spend the night with DM, could have gotten in uncontrollable roid rage from rugs. Okay, if they're in a roid rage, why wouldn't they take out the dog? Especially with the rumors, and that's all it is, but that Dylan couldn't stand the dog. Why not take the dog out? Torres said the killing seemed to be ritualistic, in my opinion. Anyone else thinks so? Max Smith says the planners never assumed 10 million true crime fans would follow this. Now it's all panic and cover-up, in my opinion. Dreamweaver says, well, I guess if you got super duper duper money coming in from that kid going to the school there and you have a history of that last name, they're going to let you fly by with anything, in my opinion. All right, so let's see. I kind of wanted to talk about Kaylee's wounds a little bit more. So I'm going to switch this over. Let me get it started.
Tonight, the father of...
Let me get it ready for you. All right, movie time, movie time. Whoops. So this is just a little news article, and it basically talks about how Kaylee's wounds were worse. Now, if you read HB's book, from my understanding, he's trying to imply that Maddie was the target. Why? Where's he getting that crap from? I don't know. Bless you. Here you go.
Tonight, the father of Kaylee Gonzalez telling ABC News his daughter's wounds were far more severe than those of her best friend, Madison Mogan. He says the two were found stabbed to death in the same bed. Police believe the murders were some kind of targeted attack, and Kaylee's dad worries it was her.
The target really does bother me because no one can win in that kind of terminology. It just makes us all feel like, please don't be my child, that's the target.
And while investigators won't share more autopsy details tonight, they have concluded the murders are not connected to an incident last month when Kaylee told friends she was followed by two men. Police found no pattern of stalking.
She felt like either the threat went away, or did she tell police?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure she did not report it.
Authorities also now revealing Kaylee's dog was found in a room separate from where the murders took place, and they found no evidence on the animal. And for the first time, we're hearing from Dylan and Bethany.
Well, we heard through the memorial what was read for them. And that was about it. Seriously. Hello, Kathleen Van Bogart, my beautiful lady. I hope you are well. And thank you so much for coming in. You say, I hope your day is peachy. Thank you, lovely. I'm trying to shake a little sore throat, but that's okay. Dreamweaver says, yeah, I wonder why they didn't allow cameras in the back of the 1122 King Road house when they were demolishing it. Why? Because we see the cryptic messages they wrote on the girls' walls, in my opinion. So let's get back over to my list a minute, because that made me think of the Jack in the Box. Okay, here we go. I don't want to leave my stuff unshared. So we talked about the stay in place was only 30 minutes after 4 people are slaughtered. How did they know it was safe unless they did believe that one of the victims were the target? The familiar DNA, we talked about that. Jack D's DNA and the frats and a lot of those. I mean, think about it. They'd be all over the place. It'd be familiar. There's an excuse for it to be there if the killer didn't cut themselves, and they didn't, or we would know about it. And like I said, the mayor said crime of passion, the police said targeted. We talked about Adam and JD at the corner club. Last one's basically in their inner circle to hang out with them, right? I think it's weird that if Kaylee's not the target, Why was she pulled back by DM to Moscow when she didn't want to go? She was begged back. She didn't even want to go. She had broke up 10 days prior with Jack D. She had moved home for 2 weeks. So she broke up with her boyfriend and she moved away from Moscow and didn't want to go back. Was it because she didn't want to run into JD anymore? She wanted a clean slate? And there he was at the bar? I'm just asking. And the last thing I have on my list, and then I'm going to hand it over to you, was the DoorDash driver actually much after Xana was already taken out, and did the KILLER and his accomplice order the Jack in the Box as a signature? I mean, somebody's got to ask it, right? Let's clear the chat. Get back over to you guys. See what's going on. Let me get caught up. Whew. I had to scroll it back. Who are the planners in your opinion, Max? Carl Thomas says, possible suspects, in my opinion, is Sigma Chi's David L. and David B., who are in Europe, allegedly. Carrie Lewis, thank you, lovely. Maddie had Jack D.'s jacket in the video to the grub truck. Has been scrubbed. That's why Kaylee's legs look awkward. There is that awkward, weird thing where her legs do something. I still haven't quite figured out what the hell's going on. There's an edit there. There's an edit there in some way. I'm just not sure what I'm seeing. Bo Roland, you said that's why I cannot believe not a single person has opened their mouth about it. In my humble opinion, if they had the right guy and they weren't scared, they'd all be talking about it. Just saying. But apparently they don't got the right guy, and everybody's scared to talk. I mean, what are you going to do? Call them up and go, the real guy's at my house. They're going to be like, ma'am, we have the real guy in jail, and we got eyes on him. He's not at your house. Carrie Lewis says, the video walking to the grub truck was altered. There's another person there, I believe, was Jack D. Interesting thoughts. Carl Thomas says, remember, Ethan's wounds are redacted from the PCA. I'm going to add a whole page. Why? Best guess, savage beyond belief. We've all heard the rumors that Ethan's, I'll just put it this way, his Achilles tendon was stripped, which is to prevent you from running. So to me, if that is true, that is taking out the alpha male and allowing you without interruption to get to your victim, your target. That's just my thoughts. Thank you, Fallon. Well, I would miss you guys. And if I'm not busy, all I'm going to do is think about how my throat hurts. I love being with you guys. Let me clear that. Lori Lay says, why was Jack D living in off-campus house if he had finished school? Maybe the original thing was to stay close? I don't know. That's a good question. Ruby King says, maybe Maddie asked DM to ask K back because M was missing K. Just a thought. Why would Maddie not just ask her directly? I'm just asking. Taurus says they're scared, in my opinion. Thank you, Pebbles. Thank you. Sorry. I think JD can see the house from his house. Not only can he see the house, he's got a direct line of sight with Kaylee's upstairs bedroom sliding glass doors into her room. I feel like I have something in my eye. Annette S. says, Fallon, if that's true, do you think the others would have happened anyways? Let me go back and see what Fallon said. There it is. Yes. Okay, let's say, in my opinion, you guys, or I'm going to have to just skip your post. Because I'm going to forget to say it and we're going to get in trouble. So we have to say, in my opinion. You can't write it like fact. So, yes, Fallon, in my opinion, DM is responsible for both Kay and M being there. She begged Kay till she came back to be her +1. And M had planned to be out of town that weekend with her boyfriend, but stayed because Kay showed up. All allegedly, yes. That is what the rumor is that I have heard as well. I definitely have something in my eye. I'm just falling apart, y'all. We'll be up back on top soon. Now, I'm going to come up to the top side and give you guys a little heads up. I'm so excited. Oh, I told you I'm falling apart. I just hit my elbow. All right. So, we have got Once Upon a Crime Time with Tommy Jude and Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime with Rory coming on here as our special guest July 9th, our very first guest. And I'm so excited. I'm not sure exactly what I'm doing, but how to do it. But I've got it worked out and it looks like it's working. So we might have, some bumps where sound isn't working. We have to work it out, or a little bit of technical whatever, because I've not really done the guest thing before, as you know. But I want to start having guests, and I want to be able to be like, hey, you're in my audience. Come on up, A.R. Hayes, or come on up, Tommy Jude, or Rory, or whoever, Golf, or whoever would like to come up. And so we're going to be switching into high gear in the month of July, and I'm very excited for all the fun stuff. Now, my lovely Liz, there's number 9. I hit the little thing, right? If you would like to be in our 30,000 subs, when we hit 30,000 subs, we'll be giving away this DVC camera, digital video camera, DVC. Now, all you need to do to get into the contest, or not contest, but giveaway, is simply write DVC giveaway. Don't put anything in that post. If you have more to say, put it in a different post. DVC giveaway. Maybe the mods can throw that in there for me, and so that people can see how it's written. You'll do that after the video. It can't be on live because I can't access live chat, but I can't, for what we're doing. But I can put it in the filter then. I go subscribers, DVC giveaway, and it'll give me all of you every time you've ever said it on any video. And so I'll be able to scroll through there and randomly grab somebody's name, and it could be you. You could be the winner. So I'm really, really excited about that. Fallon says, wow, sounds like such a great show. Looking forward to it. Me too. Pebble said, I loved you and Roy on panel together. I did too, and I loved talking to Tommy Jude too, and Golf too, and we had a great time last night on Tommy Jude's channel, Once Upon a Crime Time, and it was really, really interesting. I just love having the conversation with people that speak the same true crime language as me. It just, like you guys. Annie's mom says it's on my calendar. That's so cool. Carl Thomas says original report had DM and BF in their basement rooms behind locked doors. PCA had DM in Ashland's old room. Fact. I am such a klutz today. I hit the desk again. Fact. That's true. Christy Simonson says, if they did not find Kaylee's phone, how would they have known what she texted him 10 times? Sorry if you've already addressed us. I'm joining late. Well, I don't need your phone if I'm FBI to be able to acquire what text messages you did. That's in the cloud. So I would have to get an AT&T warrant and so forth. And that can happen. But, or whatever your phone carrier is. But also, the reason they knew that wasn't law enforcement that knew that came out and said all that. It was actually because Kaylee's family had her phone on their plan. And they could read the text. They could see all this themselves. And so that's how it came out. So that's another reason I'm asking. Was Kaylee's phone absolutely missing? Because if so, only her phone is. And it truly is. Okay, think about this, you guys. This is so important for us to really digest this concept. Regardless of why they kept Kaylee's phone or if Kaylee's phone is missing, they've given all the families back everybody else's phone. It is only Kaylee that does not have the phone returned to the family. That's it. There's something very specific about Kaylee. Her damage level. Her phone is missing technically because we don't know where it is. Real quick, we'll go over it. Jack, D, Adam, and JS are at the Corner Club last with Kaylee. Kaylee's pulled back to Moscow when she doesn't want to come there. She's broken up with her boyfriend. She's moved home with her mom and dad for the last 2 weeks. She goes back on a last thought to Moscow. She's got the dog. She's got the job. She's got a new car. She's got a new life. She's leaving the ex and her old life behind. Steve said that they didn't have to go upstairs. They chose, which made him wonder if it was his child that was the target because of the damage that didn't match. And Kaylee's was much worse. Jack didn't really have a great alibi, in my opinion, being that his roommate, Adam, is like, yeah, the dude went to bed. Even Adam couldn't know that. If the door is shut, he has no idea if Jack D leaped out that window and went across the roof and did it and came back, got in bed, and that was that. Jack D would have a strong wrist. He plays tennis, he juggles, he parkours, and he axe throws. Then you got to remember, the dog is still alive. The dog is protected. Who's the other owner? Jack D. If Kaylee's phone is the only one missing, could that be the memorial, the momentum, or what do you call it? Momentum? I don't know. Your little, I love this treasure, I'll keep this forever thing that the ex wanted because it was filled with pictures of Kaylee and him together. Kaylee's phone didn't just text JD, so did Maddie's. Between 2:52 and 2:57, there were 10 calls or 10 texts in a row, including, I'll take the dog and leave tonight if you don't come over. Kind of saying, there's no way Jack D was there. He's calling. The girls are calling him. I mean, if he was there, they wouldn't be calling him, right? I'm just saying. And then Kaylee's phone is completely shut off, disconnected from all internet. We don't hear that about Xana's phone. So if Kaylee's phone is disconnected from the internet at exactly 2:52 a.m., but Xana's phone isn't used on TikTok until after 4. That's weird. The whole conversation about JD's roommate, Adam, walking on the sidewalk. What did you tell Adam? He's also the bartender. He's also there with JD at the Corner Club. The big open gouges don't sound like a K-bar. Sounds more like a hatchet or an axe. We all know the ex is a great axe thrower. The stay in place because it is a crime of passion. Well, they didn't put it together. They said stay in place, shelter in place for a whole 30 minutes. But then they release it after 30 minutes right away after 4 have been slaughtered. And the mayor comes out and says it's a crime of passion. And they're like, wait a minute, mayor. We're going to call it targeted, right? The whole jacket thing bothers me, with Kaylee in a jacket, it being found on the fire hydrant, the way they handled the whole thing. I also wonder, because of all the familiar DNA of the ex-boyfriend as well as Adam would be all over that house. So unless they cut themselves, there's no way to pin it on him. And then the Jack in the Box delivered. Was that a signature? Was that saying, hey, I'm going to leave my name on this? Surprise! Jack in the Box. I don't know. Let's come back over. We'll share a few more of your thoughts. Bill Rowland says, in my opinion, Kay leaving CC with Jackass instead of JD tells me she didn't want anything to do with him. Good opinion. Carl Thompson says after move out, Ashlyn continues to make rent payments on her old room. Who lived there in this house, and the rental agreements need checking. Hello, Vero. You say Grub Truck video was a live feed on the Twitch. The corner bar was already public. I don't know how it would be sealed after it was already public. Hey, Tanka, welcome back. You said back in the beginning, I recall it being said that law enforcement recovered 2 phones and maybe 2 numbers associated with Brian. I wonder if that's Kaylee's phone, if it is indeed missing. Fallon says theory that victims were not able to use phones to call for help because Stingray being used by FBI surveillance or others, in my opinion. Thank you, Fallon, lovely. Thank you, thank you. Pebble said it will be interesting to see that lease info if we ever get it. Alicia H. says, can I ask you, 1111, do you think it was a roommate? I recently started wondering. I personally believe the roommates are covering for someone, and I believe they may be accessories to a setup. That's my personal beliefs. Ruby King says that jacket is significant evidence because we can see it. It's a real thing, not merely speculative. If it is her jacket, it does look like it, doesn't it? How do you become a member? There's a little link if one of the mods want to grab it. I can't get to the link. I should post it and then be able to just grab it off my desk. I'll make a little note for myself. Oh, there's this, where did I put it? Yeah, there's a local young girl. She's disabled. Anyway, she makes these beautiful pins, you guys. Look what she made us. Thank you, Candy. You are the sweetest woman. Thank you, lovely. She made me a yin yang yang purple pen. So what was I going to make? Oh, member link. Got it. Got it. That was loud. I agree. I think the house was being surveillance, says Tinka. Pebble said, I wonder how many prior roommates still had access to the house. Wow, that's an excellent question. Bo Roland says, Fallon, it's also Cyray's belief, too. And I don't mean anything negative to the family, but I will just say I disagree in the statement that the G's have made that they did everything right. They got a chauffeur, a personal driver. They had somebody walk them from the bar. All this is right. Okay. But we also have law enforcement at the house with a bunch of people in the home having access to all kinds of parts of the house, and the girls aren't home. That's not the right thing to do, because now you've opened up the accessibility to your private world on your own property to whoever randomly stumbles in your house. Just saying, that's my humble opinion. So I'm tired of saying, I'm tired of hearing they did everything right. If you did everything right, you wouldn't have had, a house full of people with cops being called and you're not even home. And that happened frequently from what I'm understanding. Thank you, Mr. Ifs. There you go. And thank you so much for those of you that are becoming Starlight members. I think it is day after tomorrow. We're having our members live chat, and it goes out for the public so nobody misses anything. And whoever becomes a member will be able to join us on that. Pebble says, are you on iPhone? So I join the button, may not be there. Right, iPhone, or I can't make sense out of iPhones. Wolf Angel says, I believe the entire house was wired for audio and video. That's who was stalking the whole house and also in fault. I think it was multiple reasons, and one was rugs, Greek life, and personal from JD. Mary Cruz says it could have also been two different incidences. What if Kaylee and Maddie walked into Ethan and Xana's unaliving, also vice versa? You could be right. Seriously. That is exactly why I feel you can't just rule out the ex-boyfriend, in my opinion, because of Xana and Ethan. If two people came upon them, the attackers, they might be taking out collateral damage. And if the other roommates aren't actually home, but we were made to believe they were home so that they could place or plant a witness and move her onto the second floor, right? I mean, how do you subscribe? There's a little button right down below the video, and you can click that little subscriber button. I think it's like a bell too. Carl Thomas says 1 week before crime, Xana had a fierce argument with someone in the house, allegedly. David L., if so, that explains fight between Ethan and David L. and possible motive for the crime, in my opinion. Mrs. G has told me they have not received Kaylee's phone as of yesterday. Thank you, Kathleen. That's what I'm saying. Where in the world is Kaylee's phone? And if they've returned everybody else's phones, is Kaylee's phone missing? I'd put my money on it. Just my opinion. Kathleen Lawrence says, guaranteed they probably wiped everything off that phone. Lisa says, can anyone tell me how to subscribe? Can somebody get a link, please? And thank you. Pebbles says, you can use the link listed above or click on the channel name, and a link is listed below that if the join button isn't there. Thank you for helping, Pebbles. Bo Roland, Carl, in my opinion, there are two different reasons for the crimes. In my opinion, he's involved too. And it could be, it could be that there was something to do with two parties that each had problems with different people. So let's just say these two people knew each other really good. And this set of people, this person was like, I can't stand X and E. I want them gone. And this other person's like, well, I have it out for K and M. They could have been like, well, I got your back if you got mine. But then they would have to be each other's alibis. Just saying. Right. Boom. Mark gets a gold star for the night. Mark and Betty. Great point. KG's phone is missing, and Brent's phone is factory reset. And Ethan's golf clubs are missing too. Hi, Justice A to Z. Love says lives. Thank you, lovely. Please tune into her channel and see if she's your cup of tea. She is a very good, very hard-working lady for true crime and spiritually uplifting as well. And you say you might have to go back out of chat to sub if you were on a phone. True, you have to back out. Pebbles says Ellie has her phone according to the G family. The G family don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Thought I heard my other phone ringing. They just know it hasn't been given back to them. And so they wonder what's on it. Pebble said, anytime, Mama D. Thank you, lovely. Fallon says, yes. Makes much sense that 2 roommates were targeted and other 2 walked in to it, so had to be taken out. Maybe JS had a job of making sure KM didn't go back too soon, but failed. All right, I'm going to walk my little theory here at the very last minute. So, my theory is that it's possible, and it's very much the theory that y'all just shared. It's possible while 2 individuals are being taken out by a person, that he would have an accomplice there to watch his back, right? So let's say the attacker goes upstairs and begins to attack the victims on the 3rd level, K and M. Now, let's pretend that means that he's got a lookout at the bottom of the stairs, all clad in black, maybe has some dang big bushy eyebrows. And that person is actually just a lookout. However, all hell starts breaking loose upstairs. And what if, being Xana and Ethan allegedly came home early to eat pizza and phone the dad because all hell broke loose? What if they had fallen asleep in their room and all of a sudden they're the ones that heard screaming and all kinds of hell breaking loose upstairs? Would they have come running out of their room, and now we got more victims? I'm just asking. I mean, there is what appears to be blood spatter on the kitchen cupboards. Just makes you wonder. Just makes me wonder. I am on a phone. Well, I hope somebody helps you out, lovely. Carla says, hey, everybody, excited. Oh, y'all, number 10. Carla, hey, everybody, excited for your first live with panel guests. I know. And I adore Tommy, and I think Rory is so cool. So I'm so honored that they are our first guests. I am truly, I love them both. I can't wait. I have no doubt it's going to be one of the most fascinating times on our channel, and I can't wait. It can't come soon enough, right? It's a week away. Hey, BB. I totally believe that Brian Kohlberger is innocent. I think the killers knew the victims. Well, I believe you're right. And I believe that this is just my humble opinion. Please feel free to have the opposite opinion. I still respect you. But I personally believe that phone may be gone. And if so, and Kaylee had the worst damage, that to me makes it really damn personal. I'm just saying. Joyce says, 1111, I think BK was framed. Kathleen says, Olivia was able to get into the phone because she knew password, but never had the phone. Correct. Correct, Kathleen. If I see someone dressed like a ninja, says Bear Bear, I'm going to tell you what, I see anybody in my house, I'm going to shoot and ask questions later. I'm just saying. Ruby King says, DM and BF are a couple of mysteries. A mystery within a mystery. Hey, Mark and Betty, blood running down the house apparently, but not a speck in BK's car. Really? That's an excellent point. You guys are so smart. Truly, you bring up things that I don't really think about, like, to put together like that. And I'm always like, yeah, wow. You get a gold star. You get a gold star, Mark and Betty. We'll give you 2, right? Mark and Betty. Vera says, I agree, Mama D. People keep saying the roommates had to hear what was happening. Yeah, all the living roommates did too. The ones that hide the best lived. See, I don't think the other 2 surviving roommates were home at all. That's just my humble opinion. I heard that Bethany was actually at the Sigma Chi party. Jason Triss says, informant, when G brought up in a text, supposedly G literally stated he was told by FBI to not go there. Interesting, don't you think? Love your train of thought and work. Thank you, Jason Truth. And welcome to 1111 True Crime, my lovely. Tinka says Kaylee's phone and all the weapons and other evidence were dumped in the Snake River, allegedly. Fallon says Kaylee's sister saw Kay and M get home. True, Olivia did state that. So much more has to be on that video cam. Should have lots of answers. If Ellie saw this, knows this, then why not give a copy to the defense? That's a great question, you guys. You blow my mind. Right? Kathleen says, in my humble opinion, I don't think that was blood running down the house. It wouldn't be red. It would be closer to black in color. And I do agree with you, Kathleen, very much. Dried blood turns almost black. It really does. Joyce says, some know who didn't the crime that kept... Some know who did the crime that they keep quiet. I get ya. Hey, Carolyn Miller, could be Mama D. I agree. Hello, lovely. Hello. Pebbles said, no problem. I hope that helps. Thank you for helping Misty Blue so much, Pebbles. Bill Roland says, if HB, meaning Howard, is saying M was the target and he went up there first, why wouldn't he leave right after that? Doesn't make sense. Ashlyn's old room, a drug stash? Question. Good question, Carl. Just saying. Vero says, oh, Bethany was still at the party. Dang. That's what I've heard allegedly, is that Bethany went to the Sigma Chi party and was there with Ethan and was there with Xana. And then Xana and Ethan left hot, got walked home by Hunter. I assume Hunter J. I could be wrong. It could be his triplet, but Hunter. But we don't know the real time. We really don't. Ellie wants us to believe 1:45 they got home. But they did take a long time coming to that timestamp. Because it was so... They knew they got there around 9 o'clock, but they didn't know much more. And I've begun to wonder if they didn't really get home at around midnight, even a little sooner, because of that call from Xana to her dad talking about eating pizza, watching television, watching a movie. Joey says, 11:11, how Joe Vito had soda camera. He was laughing at the girls. He did. Joe Vito did make... That's one thing I did want to bring up, and I'm so thankful Joey brought it up. He was laughing at the girls. He was mocking them, calling them drunk girls, and had a problem with their liquor intake. And then if you read that little snotty 4 little posts, 4chan that I've shared, and I'm not going to do it today because it's sickening, but it basically just rips a new one into each one of the victims, and it talks about being broke and being lushes. It didn't use the word lush, it used drunks and stuff like that. And I did think about it a little bit, and I'm like, even though it does sound like a female because they're all about the shoes, could it be a feminine person as well? I don't know, I wanted to bring it up. Ruby King says, I would love to see DM and Bethany come on YouTube and say they weren't even there that night. That would blow my mind. Mr. Ifs, hello, lovely. Excuse me. Then again, we don't know all the discovery, especially because of the gag order, which is why I'm careful what I say given how close I am to the case. Correct. Catherine Lawrence said someone on a different channel stated that the reason BK's DNA was on the sheath is because he had his windows rolled down on his car and he sneezed. People are ridiculous. Thank you, love. Thank you. Carl Thomas said, something overlooked 1122 King Road crowded house party conducted on November 11th. Did Emma Bailey attend? Oh, yeah. Oh my golly, let me get readjusted. I gotta tell you something. So, in the book that shall not be named, right, he brings up as a resource Emma Bailey's DUI video. And after that, he talks about, I want to make sure I get the name right, directly after that, his next person is a, I want to make sure and get the name right. I think it's Kimberly Bailey, but hold on. Yeah. So one of his sources, and he's saying in chapter 31, but he refers to Emma Bailey DUI video. Then he says, police recording of Kimberly Bailey interview. You guys get busy. I'm going to be digging in. Who is Kimberly Bailey? Because I'll bet you $1 billion she has something to do with Emma Bailey, huh? Police recording interview of Kimberly Bailey? I can't wait to look it up and find out. So I agree. That is an excellent point, Carl. Mark and Betty said, inside looking on Reddit knew some info at the time that has turned out to be true. And he also continued to say, Jack D is clear. The X is clear. I don't know why you keep talking about Jack D. He's clear. It was Sigma Chi. Probably Sigma Chi. Uh-huh. We're going to be looking at all that, too. I got 33 pages to go over with you. Pebbles said, but then he claimed he woke up later that morning at home. That's how he knew something was wrong at the house. Okay, all right. I'm sorry my son was murdered. Oh, I'm so sorry, Christy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry to hear that. My goodness. Tinka says, I don't believe Jackass had anything to do with what happened, but he sure the hell knows who was, in my opinion. All right, my lovelies, my beautiful 1111 family. My throat's still a little sore, so I'm going to be jumping offline. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for being there for me and for working on this case. Because we do want truth. We do want justice. And the only way we're going to get it is to keep focusing. But I'm going to still ask you, what if Kaylee's phone is the only phone that is actually missing? That's a question I got. Here is your music. I love ya. To the moon and back.
When a train whistles far away, and when the cold wind blows, when the lightning in your eyes reveals the darkness in your soul, the world will be reminded of what it already knows. 'Cause the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. Time will tell, time will tell on you. No one may ever say a thing, but surely as the seasons change, you'll feel like every finger points at you, 'cause you're to blame. And the days are gonna whisper, and the months are gonna talk, until the years yell out the truth. And time will tell, time will tell on you. It's gonna tell on you.